One of the principles I often share when working with teachers on place-based learning is this idea of balancing the big and the small. So in balancing the big, what I mean is really designing powerful place-based learning through big ideas, essential questions, and enduring understandings. Those really meaningful ideas that would make leaving campus, make the inconvenience of having to move 25 bodies somewhere else worthwhile. So thinking about those really important things in the world, things like interdependence, things like social justice, things like community support. Those really big ideas make place-based learning worthwhile. We want to make sure we balance that, though, with the small. So by the small, we usually talk about logistics. And so place-based learning can seem like a huge endeavor. It can seem like an endeavor that requires buses and community partners that are far away and have lots of resources, but it doesn't need to be. When we engage in place-based learning, we need to do so at a level where the logistics are within our control. If we have access to buses, let's take a bus. If not, can we find a place that we can walk to? Can we find a place on campus outside of the four walls of our classroom? Could it be a garden space, or could it be simply a quad in the middle of the building where something important is happening? Whatever the logistics are that the teacher and the school can handle are the logistics that should guide the development of place-based learning. So a tool that helps us design powerful and realistic place-based learning is called Concentric circles, and it's one I've developed and worked with many educators with. It is a really simple tool, and it asks us to literally draw 3 circles on a piece of paper. In the middle of the smallest circle, we would brainstorm people and places on our campus that might be resources to learning. For example, when we get a group of adults in a school together to brainstorm all the people that have amazing stories to tell, backgrounds that could be beneficial to students, sometimes we explore and we find things like the maintenance engineer, the custodian that happened to be a Korean War veteran, or who happened to have an amazing special skill set. One example is a custodian who happened to also be a blacksmith. We can also look at specific important places on campus. Many campuses have historic sites on them, if not historic, then important sites on them, or even really useful sites on them. We've been able to work with educators who've identified the maintenance shop as a place where students, maybe small groups of students, were able to go and do really important things. The second circle in the concentric circles would be places that you could walk to, that literally students could, in the period that they have for that class, get to, but off campus. I'm thinking about businesses in the communities, nonprofits in the communities, museums, parks, anything that a student could walk to, a farm, or even a natural site close to the school. Now that looks really different if you're in an urban campus than if you're in a rural campus, but there's usually amazing gems found both in urban settings, in suburban settings, and in rural settings that you can walk to. The third concentric circle ring would be places that you might need to take a bus to, that you might need to put some school resources into. They could be super powerful, but they're going to take some energy or resources to get to. And then outside of that ring might be areas that we might want to dream about. Maybe it's a flight. Maybe it's something that you could never imagine actually going to, but by putting them down there and seeing them, sometimes it sparks innovative ways to make those connections. Maybe we can make those connections virtually. Maybe it can be a summer trip to extend the learning. But those 4 rings that are created by those 3 circles are a powerful and simple tool to plan place-based learning.